Hello, this is Jasmine from Tutors 11 Plus. Following on from our last video on equivalent fractions, we'll be continuing our fraction journey with a video now on mixed and improper fractions. We'll be looking at how to convert mixed numbers to improper fractions, as well as converting improper fractions back to a mixed number. Let's have a look at this together. Mixed numbers and improper fractions. So, mixed numbers we'll start with. A mixed number is where we have a mixture of an integer, which is a whole number, and a proper fraction, or part of a whole number. So here we have 2 1/3 as an example. The 2 is the integer, which is the whole number. And the 1/3 is the fraction, the proper fraction, which is the part of the whole number. And you can see we have 2 1/3. We can use a shaded bar line to help us visualize the mixed number. So let's have a look. We have a bar here split into 3 equal pieces, and it's shaded. All 3 of them are shaded. So we have 3 out of 3, or 3/3, which are shaded, and 3/3 is the same as 1. It is equivalent to 1. And then we have another bar line of exactly the same size, also split into 3 equal pieces. These are also shaded. That's another one. And then we have another bar line of which only one of the 3 is shaded. So we have 1/3 here. So we have 1 whole plus 1 whole, which gives us 2. And then we have the fraction, which is 1/3. So 2 plus 1/3 gives us 2 1/3. Now, as a recap, 1 whole plus 1 whole plus 1/3 gives us 2 1/3. And that's our mixed numbers. Let's have a look now at improper fractions. An improper fraction is a top-heavy one where the numerator is larger than the denominator. So here we have 8/5. The number at the top is the numerator, and the number at the bottom is the denominator. And we can see here that the 8, or the numerator, is larger than the 5, the denominator. We can also use a shaded bar line here to help us visualize the improper fraction. So here we have a line split into 5 equal pieces, all of which are shaded. So 5/5 are shaded. And another line underneath split into 5, but only 3 of which are shaded. So we have 3/5 shaded here. But if we add them together, we have 5 plus 3, here we go, shaded pieces. And if we add them up, we get 8 shaded pieces, so 8/5. So remember, when we cut 2 bars into 5 equal pieces, or fifths, we can show 8/5 as 8 equal-sized pieces. Point to note, though, is that each slice is worth 1/5, and 8/5 is bigger than 1 whole bar. Now, how do we change a mixed number to an improper fraction? Let's have a look at a step-by-step guide on how to do this. So our example here is 3 4/5, where 3 is the whole number and 4/5 is the fraction. So this is a mixed number. We want to change this to an improper fraction. So step 1, we multiply the whole number, which is 3, by the denominator, which is 5. 3 times 5 gives us 15. Step 2, we then take this 15 and we add it to the numerator. So we have 15 plus 4, which is 19. Finally, for step 3, we put this number, the 19, over the denominator, which is 5. And that's our answer, 19 over 5, or 19/5. So 3 and 4/5 is the same as or equivalent to 19/5. 19/5 is the improper fraction, remember, because it's top heavy, and 3 and 4/5 is the mixed number because it's a mixture of a whole and a fraction. Okay, let's look at some examples on how to convert the following mixed numbers into improper fractions. And let's make sure we use the steps that we've just gone through. So, question A, we have 2 and 5/7, and we want to change this or convert this into an improper fraction. So, if you remember, step 1, we needed to multiply the whole number by the denominator. We multiply that together. So we have 2 times by 7 gives us 14. Step 2, we needed to take this number and add it to the numerator. So we would have 14 plus 5 gives us 19. And then finally, step 3, we place this 19 over the denominator. So we end up with 19 over 7, or 19/7, and that is our answer. Very quickly, we can check 7 times 2 is 14, plus 5 gives us 19. Yeah. So let's go on to question B. We have 8 and 7/10. Again, following the steps. Step 1, we multiply the whole number by the denominator. So we have 8 multiplied by 10, which gives us 80. Step 2, remember, we then take this 80 and we add it to the numerator. So we have 80 plus 7, which gives us 87. And finally, step 3, we place this number over the denominator. So we have 87 over 10, or 87/10. We can just confirm that 8 times 10 is 80, plus 7 gives us 87. Finally, question C. Let's follow the steps again. Step 1, multiply the whole number by the denominator. That is 6 times by 3 gives us 18. Step 2, we then take this 18 and we add it to the numerator. 18 plus 1 gives us 19. Finally, step 3, we place this 19 over the denominator to give us 19/3. Let's just double check that. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. 19/3. And that's the question practice on how to convert mixed numbers into improper fractions. Okay, now how do we change an improper fraction to a mixed number? Let's look at a step-by-step guide on how to do this. So the example we start with is 14/5. It's a top-heavy fraction. So step 1, we divide the numerator, which is 14, by the denominator, which is 5. This gives us the whole number. So 14 divided by 5 gives us 2 remainder 4, and 2 is the whole number. Step 2, we then take this whole number and put it down as part of our answer. That's the first part of our answer. So we make sure we add that there. We then place the remainder, which is 4, and we place it on top of the denominator, which is 5. So we have 2 and 4/5, and that is our final answer. So 14/5 is the same as 2 4/5. 14/5 is the improper fraction because it's top heavy, and 2 4/5 is the mixed number. Note, if there is no remainder, then we just write the whole number. So for example, if it was 6/1, we would just write 6. Let's look at some more examples of how to do this together. Okay, so let's look at some question practice on how to convert improper fractions into mixed numbers using the steps that we've gone through. So, step 1, if you recall, we had to divide the numerator by the denominator. So we would have 13 divided by 3. Now, if you need to use the bus stop method, you can. You would put 13 inside and the 3 on the outside. How many times does 3 go into 13? It goes 4 times with 12. That gives us a remainder of 1. So 13 divided by 3 is equal to 4, remainder 1. Now step 2. You remember we have to then bring this whole number down, because that forms part of our answer. The first part of our answer. So we have 4 here. We then need to place this remainder over the denominator as the second part of the answer. So we have 4 and 1/3. And that's our answer. Okay, and we just double check that. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1 is 13. So let's go to question B. 25/4. Again, step 1, you do 25 divided by 4. You can use a bus stop method if you need, but we all know, if you know your times table, well, that 25 divided by 4 gives us 6, remainder 1. We bring this 6 down as our whole number for step 2. So we have 6, and then we have this remainder of 1, and we place it over the denominator. So we have 1/4, so 6 1/4. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 gives us 25. So we can double check that that's the correct answer. Now, question C is 56/6. We want to convert this into a mixed number. Again, following the steps. Step 1, we do 56 divided by 6. We are dividing the numerator by the denominator. This will give us 9, remainder 2. We bring this down as part of our answer for step 2. So we have 9, and then we place this remainder over the denominator. So we finish off our answer with 2/6. So the answer is 9 2/6. Now, we could leave it like this, or we could make the 2/6 into lowest terms. You remember lowest terms? 2 and 6 both divide into 2. So we could say that this is the same as 9 1/3, because we can divide the 2 by 2 and the 6 by 2, which gives us this 1 and the 3. So 56/6 is the same as 9 1/3. Okay, and that concludes our video on mixed numbers and improper fractions. Please go through all the steps and make sure you use them with every question that you do. Remember, the more you practice, the better you'll get. Thank you.